free alerts and free picks. We're talking about them right now. We're going to give you the levels. We're going to talk about the flow so you guys can use these free alerts to hopefully make some quick bucks tomorrow. So again, this watch list is for September 27th. It is September 26th today, so we're going to go through this and give you some levels to take a look at using Unusual Whales flow. So the first one on the list is Lyft. All right, so we can see we have this nice area of support right here, which we broke under, and now we've closed that candle under all those levels. The next big support on this is sitting at around 13.17, and then we have 12.46. You can see these lines here very clear. Now, when we're looking at the flow, here I'm going to pull up the flow here and take a look at the few things. One, first and foremost, your COPE is in the negative and it's drastically dropping from the morning. All right. Secondly, you have pretty much relatively big spikes that are pretty bearish, but the most interesting thing I'm paying attention to here, we've had a 14 put, 10,600 volume come in today, and that was 69% bearish. Okay, we also had a $10 put for 25 days out, so out of the money, relatively decently short-term expiry, 3,000, and the OI is OI already has 8,000 on it, so that's 98% bearish. Very interesting to see these puts come in here. Another put here, 63% bullish, but I like to see how this is going to kind of pan out here going into tomorrow. So the levels that I'm kind of paying attention to here on Lyft is going to be two things. I prefer the downside move. So the downside move is actually going to come if we can get under 1340. Okay, so 1340, we have some daily support right there. 1340 to about 1334, we break that, we should start accelerating to the downside to 1317 and then 1246. Okay, now on the bullish side, although I don't really see much bullish flow, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not gonna push to the upside. Remember, we're just looking for day trades and we're looking to get in and out as quickly as possible. So on the upside here, if we can clear 1380 or $14 psychological number, then we can get a nice pop back up towards the 1450 area. Okay, ideally, if we can clear this little pivot high from yesterday, 1380, then you can pop towards 1404. Now, you know, you might say it's not much of a move, but when you're dealing with stocks that are under $15, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents is actually relatively high in percentage moves under equity. So this one should pay you fairly well if we get a 1.7% move from 1380 to 14, and then obviously 14 to 1450 is a big chunk of move that you can take advantage of. Okay, so 1330 to the downside, 1380 to the upside is what we're looking at. All right, so gonna hop back onto the UAL. The UAL is the next one I'm paying attention to, so gonna pull up the levels here. So one thing interesting about UAL is if I go to the daily chart here and we zoom out, take a look at this low here on March 8th. All right, March 8th, 2022. That's the area where we bounced at. So that's going to be my pivot low that I'm paying attention to. We've recently broken down the major support at 3370, closed under it, tried to bounce and failed, and we rolled right back under again. Okay, so we could see continuation coming back down to that 3050 daily support level. So now I'm going to pop this up. This is, go to UAL. Yep, this is UAL. Perfect. Now, one thing to know here, I want to pay attention to some of these put activities. I know this is fairly neutral, so we're not really going to pay attention to that. But this call is 76% bearish. All right, this 33 call is also 72% bearish. You have a 28 put that is 100% bearish. So, you know, another call that's 95% bearish. So lots of calls and puts coming in, all aggressively bearish here, okay? And again, going into near the end of the day, you had your COPE also drop as well on this one, okay? So again, I can see support level has been broken down. This hammer didn't hold, we rolled back over. Selling is relatively above average volume here last 4 days. You can see that as well. So continuation to the downside is something that I'd be paying attention to. Now on UAL, again, there's both ways. I always like to trade things, right? However, on UAL, like I said, the flow looks bearish. The downside level that I'm paying attention to here would be 31.80, which is essentially yesterday's low. You can see we've sold off, didn't really bounce, and had a hard time. So if we can break 31.80, we have room to fall to 30.50. Again, remember that move alone is a 4% move on equities, and options should pay relatively well. And on the upside, we really need to clear 33.30, okay, which was yesterday's high. And also we have resistance in pre-market on Friday as well around that level, okay? So 33.20, 33.30 is the level I'd pay attention to for an upside move, to break that out for a push higher, okay? So let's draw that line right there. Perfect, 33.20, and then from there you can get a pop to 33.70, 34, okay? Again, don't think it's not much of a move. That right there is 1.6%. Or 2%, depending on how far we push this thing, if that level breaks, okay? So 31.80 downside, 33.20 to the upside. Lastly, we're going to take a look at Costco. All right, now the one thing I find interesting about Costco is lots of weak names in today's price action. However, Costco bounced off of this prior support area. You can see that was a support area right there. We hit it Friday, we bounced, we opened today and pushed up. Now this candle in itself is actually a bullish engulfing candle. Why? The body swallows the prior day's body. So that's the body, and that's the body's low, right? Body's high, body's low, and Friday's candle is within it. So it's a bullish engulfing candle. So because of that, I actually want to pay attention to Costco and see if we're going to be able to get some bullish momentum going on this thing, okay? So we're going to look at the flow here. Again, we're going to pay attention to what we're seeing. We're seeing short-term dated calls, both of them out of the money, 490, 500. Not much bullish, but we got 60% and 64% bullish. And OI on this 490 call is actually coming in at 2,000 when, volume's 2,000 versus OI is 450. Okay, so decent bullish activity coming in on this one. I do want to see some bullish momentum. Cope, although it is in the negative, still relatively popping up near the close as well. So just watching this one, some opening orders coming in as well for a little bit further out in the money calls. However, on this one, let's jump into the closer time frames and see what we're looking at. So we had that earning drop. You know, besides that, it's still holding up really well and relatively strong against the market. So need to get above 484.50, all right? And that really clears this level right here. So we had resistance. We're coming back to retest this old support, which is now resistance, break above that. I think we could see the push to 491 area. Okay, so I'm looking for this one to break 448.50 with the strength it showed today to push to the 491. Now, if we get under 475, which is a pivot from today, actually, right here, 475, that's the level that I want to pay attention to, because if we break that, we could see a nice sell-off down to 469.77. Okay, so 484.50, 475, 475.75. That's the level to pay attention to on the downside. All right, guys. So quick little video for you guys. If you guys did like this, go ahead and smash that like button. Let me know if this is something you want me to continue doing. If you guys want me to keep doing this, I definitely will. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.